You know, when you pull up to a massive project or a property or a challenge of some sort by yourself, and it's you versus that challenge, and the only way you're leaving is if you complete that challenge, most people don't realize that they actually have what it takes to get past it. I am Daniel Wright, President, CEO, owner of Proline Parking Lot Maintenance. Been the owner here for a little over 8 years. August of 16 is when I purchased the company as a side job to try and make extra money while being a full-time fireman and put my wife through nursing school. And over the last 8 years, it's, well, obviously grown as something that's a little more than a side job. And now we run it full-time, and here we are becoming one of the best pavement maintenance companies in the Carolinas. Entrepreneurship has it's really always been something that's just been an interest of mine. When I lived up in Indiana, you know, and it snowed in the wintertime, I was shoveling driveways for money, or I was looking for, you know, going picking weeds out of people's landscaping for money, or whatever it was. It's always trying to build something and create an opportunity to make my own living, make my own income. And I always enjoyed services. You know, I thought it was fun because I've always been like I get my hands dirty sort of a person. And so yeah, just kind of progressing up through there to high school, started a business, you know, a lawn care landscape company in high school. That quickly grew to where I was mowing like 25 yards on a Saturday, and because obviously I was in school Monday through Friday, it would get to the point where my dad would drop me off in the morning. I'd drive around with a garden tractor, mow yards all day. Sometimes I'd get my buddies or my brother to help me. Grew that up to where eventually my dad joined that company, and we were running it full time. And then we ended up selling that when each of us kind of moved away for different reasons. And then started another one down here in North Carolina, another landscape company. Grew that, sold it, and then here we are running Proline. Another thing with the entrepreneurship side of stuff that I've always admired was my grandfather. I don't want to leave that part out because I know, you know, my own personal experiences is what brought me like the proof of like what entrepreneurship can do and what building a business can do. But I think getting to grow up with my grandfather, he owned his own business. It was a completely different industry, had nothing related to like trades or pavement or anything like that, or landscaping. But I got to see like the good that he could do for not just his family, but the community, his friends. He was a well-respected man, or is a well-respected man, you know, but in business and stuff, he was always somebody people looked up to, sought his advice. And I thought that was a cool position to hold. I thought it was a position to hold in life as something that's, you know, something that's worthwhile. He didn't just fade away into the cracks, especially the small town Indiana he came from. A lot of people did. You know, there was a factory there that's where a lot of people worked, and that's what they did. They put in their time, they retired, and that was it. You know, he built something where now, even though he's not even in business anymore, the amount of relationships he was able to build and develop and amount of people to help, he has created him a massive network of people who you know, look up to him and appreciate him. Proline Parking Lot Maintenance does anything and everything: pavement, asphalt, concrete, stone, whatever it is. If you drive on it, walk on it, or trip on it, we work on it. Anything from painting the lines on the parking lots for, you know, where you park your cars, the directional arrows, handicap markings, anything like that, to doing the asphalt seal coating where we're protecting the pavement and making sure that it's looking nice while preserving you know, typically one of the most expensive investments to a property other than the building itself, being the parking lot, concrete, curb and gutter, things like that. So that's what we do. We try to keep parking lots safe. We try to keep them aesthetically pleasing, up to codes and requirements, and just make sure that the welcome mat to every business, community, whatever it is, the welcome mat being the parking lot that people pull up on, is the best experience possible. When Proline got presented to me as an option to purchase it, it was from another guy named Craig at the fire department. He started the company, and he was having to sell it because he got promoted to a chief, so therefore he did not have time to actually run a business and be a fireman. Most firemen, when they work split shifts and schedules, they can have side jobs and other things like that on their days off, but he no longer had that opportunity. So he came to me one day at the station and said, he said, "You seem to like to work a lot. You want to buy a parking lot maintenance company?" And I said, "What the heck's a parking lot maintenance? Like, what do you do, pick up trash or what?" He said, "Not quite." And so he explained it to me a little bit. Of course, I went to Google and Facebook and tried to look up these different companies and see what it was about. And then when I realized, I'm like, hey, like, this is a pretty cool industry. I may or may not have a little bit of OCD on certain things, and so to get to go like paint lines in the parking lot and make them crisp and neat and organized was like right up my alley. And so I, at the time when I took it over, it was just striping, maybe putting in some handicap signs, some of the basics with parking lots is how it was when I first took it over. And I saw it as a means to a better end, that I could make more money for my time. There was less competition. It was more of a niche market than landscaping and lawn care. And I saw the future and the opportunity in it to be able to provide a good life. What I quickly realized when I got into the parking lot industry is this industry is very archaic, being some of the processes, the systems people use, the way people communicate, just lack of responsiveness or outdated softwares, whatever it might be. Like, everything was just very archaic. And I realized that as I was getting phone calls for work coming in, I would start hearing more and more frequently, like, people were surprised that I answered the phone, or they were surprised that I returned to their voicemail or their missed call. And I didn't understand it. And so finally I started asking, like, why is this surprising? Like, you're not the first person I've heard say this. And they said, well, you'd be surprised, a lot of people just don't call us back. And I said, well, this isn't a hobby for me. So if I don't call you back and get an opportunity to work, I'm not going to pay my bills. So it was just something like as simple as that was missing in the industry, at least in our market. And so I saw opportunity to be able to grow something. And so when I saw that opportunity to be able to grow something, I think just like most other people in the world, we want to do something that matters. We want to be somebody of some sort of importance to someone, somewhere, something. And so I saw that, like, there was such an archaic industry. There was a lack of customer service, lack of communication, which I love. I love customer service. I love communication. I always have. And I saw that, like, if we can put these things together, if we can bring a modern day approach to customer service and communication, as well as provide a great service, we could have a big opportunity to, like, make an impact in our industry. And so as I saw that, I was like, man, this is something that Daniel as an individual could make an impact in and be able to, make a difference and have some influence, or be able to build something that can help a lot of people. But also as a company, we can make the experience better for the clients. And so, talking about like the vision of what the company was, when I first got into it, it was just, we want to change the way that our industry is viewed. We want to change the experience that clients are having with us. That's why one of our core values is create a great experience. Ever since the beginning, it was all about creating a great experience for the clients, how we communicate, our frequency in communication, our attention to detail, whatever it might be. And so the vision as we continue to go forward is just to continue to amplify that experience and be able to provide that to more and more people. As we've grown the company and we've developed a bigger foundation and platform, the people we're able to impact through that great experience has broadened. Because originally it was me and a couple of helpers creating that great experience for the clients. Now it's me plus 14 other people working in the organization, and then more clients that we're able to impact, more vendors we work with, things like that. So it's not just geared towards creating the great experience for the client. That's our ultimate goal, but all around that, we have to make sure we're creating the great experience for every person who's involved in it. So every person who walks in the door every morning to come to work has to know that there's an opportunity for them to have a great experience at work that day. It's not a guarantee, but there's an opportunity for it. Same thing with our vendors. Now that experience we get to have for other people to enjoy is so much bigger. And the bigger our company grows, the bigger the opportunity we have to create that great experience for everybody involved. I think some of the milestones that I'm proudest of is honestly just our continued growth. The fact that, kind of what I've referenced when it comes to our impact and our ability to create experiences for people, we've done that in a multitude of different ways. Whether it is the experiences that we create with clients and providing them great service, quality projects, things like that. Whether it's opportunities that we've created for people who work here, who maybe they were down on their luck when they came here. They couldn't find a job, get a job, keep a job, and we gave them a shot. And whether or not that person's still here doesn't matter, but we were at least able to be like a stepping stone for them to get. Or for the people who have been here, 4 or 5 years, we've given people a place to land. And so giving someone a place to land and be able to call home and then jump on board with this mission and this vision that we're out to accomplish, That's a very rewarding feeling. We've created a place that people can call home. You know, that they can come here and they feel appreciated, they feel valued, they feel respected, they feel challenged, you know, because we push. But again, it goes back to that, just the ability to create the experience for people that are going to be better off because of their interaction with us. You know, that's part of our mission and our vision, is that we want to create an opportunity, we want to create an impact to people in and around the pavement maintenance industry and make them, you know, better off having interacted with us. I know with confidence that every person who's come through this organization has left better than when they came here. The culture and the team morale is unrivaled because we have our core values. We have done a very good job at implementing them from the start, reinforcing them as they're being taught, and now recognizing and rewarding them as they're lived out. They're discussed daily. I mean, in one way or another, they're discussed daily. I was just having a conversation with someone who was looking to come work here, and a lot of our conversation was around core values, about creating a great experience, about building relationships, because it's what we do, it's who we are. So we're able to kind of have almost like this, it's spoken but unspoken culture and mentality about who we are and what we do that are centered around our core values, and everybody on the team has to be in alignment with that. You know, there's some people who've come through here that were not in alignment with our core values, and I said they've come through here meaning that they're not here anymore. And the fact that we are so consistent with making sure that we're operating by our core values to the best of our ability allows us to create a culture that then outwardly shines to clients, to our vendors, to competitors, whoever it may be, to be like, man, there's something different about that company. And I think that's what it is. I think the core values, I think the actual like fact that we care about each other here, we're not just numbers on a roster or a body in a truck. We actually take a vested interest in each other's lives, and you know, we're there for each other. And I think that's something I want to make sure that no matter how big the company gets, that we never lose it. But as far as what we're doing as a company for the next 5 to 10 years, it really is just going to be continuing to grow, continuing to broaden our impact, exploring new markets, so that way we can bring this experience to more people. Like I talked about, you know, throughout this entire discussion, is how do we build ourselves to get bigger and create a bigger opportunity to allow people a great experience with our company and have a bigger impact. That's what we're trying to do. And how is that done? It's by growing our business. It's by, you know, hiring the right people, you know, getting the right people in the right seats, doing the right jobs. It's getting, you know, the processes that we have as far as how a client experiences us dialed in and continuously improving it and growing it and developing it. It's making sure that if there's needs in and around our industry that maybe we're not yet offering or fulfilling, can we? Whether it's through ourselves or through a partner company. You know, so it's making sure it all boils back down to continuing to broaden the reach of the experience that we provide to other people. I think we're all capable of a whole lot more than what we give ourselves credit for. And we don't realize that until we find the right environment with the right people and the right opportunity that brings it out of us.